be very good.
No, he's going to be the best.
What's up, guys? Marvin here coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Once again, we're back with another comic review for you guys. Pretty decent week this week for comics as well. Once again, had some good treasures from DC, definitely some from the Independent, and a few from Marvel as well. First off, I like to give a shout out once again. Yeah, give another shout out to Comic Book Mom. Yeah. Subscribed to her about last week or so. Another person that I was just like, why didn't I ever subscribe to this person? You know? I wish my mom was like that. Like, was kind of into comics and stuff like me. It'd make it even better, but she, from the videos I've watched, she's really cool, and really down to earth, and you know, you just see the enthusiasm and when she shows off her comics, and she's like, you know, I'm really looking forward to this, and you know, I just watched a vlog of hers again, and I really enjoyed it. I even commented on it, like, and then I said, P.S., you know, I got to come up with a nickname for you. I always come up with nicknames for my YouTube friends. But let's get to the comics, right? Mr. Orpheus will be back next week, guys. I promise you that time. He will be back next week. But let's get with the comics. And, of course, we're going to kick it off with Marvel. You know how I like to do every month. I change how I present. So it's Marvel, DC, and we end it with Independent. And the first book we're going to start off with is Amazing Spider-Man 699.1. Yeah, you see the cover. This is basically a retelling of Morbius's origin, in a sense. It has nothing to do with Spider-Man, really. And I've always said it with the .1 books, guys, it's a hit and a miss. Sometimes the stories are good, and sometimes the stories are just like, you know, why did they tell this story? What's the point? You know? And since I know Morbius's origin, it was like, you're not telling me anything I don't know. And I'm not even a big Morbius fan, but I know his origin pretty damn well. But this is basically just a focus point of what's to lead into his book, which I'm not going to be picking up, guys. So I'm not going to be picking up his book. Like I said, you know, if there was anybody that I felt, if they were going to do Vampire or something like that, why not Blade? You know, give us a Blade. Give us a new Blade book. But that's all this was. It was just a retelling of an origin. But I will admit, you do feel for Morbius in this book. You do. I will say that. Alright. So we move on to Miss Kelly Sue DeConnick and Stefano Caselli as the artwork, doing Avengers Assemble number 10. This is still continuing the story arc the storyline that was going on in the issue 9, where Bruce and Tony placed a bet to see which team would get to this lake in the Arctic quicker. All hell breaks loose. Basically, there's a virus, and it pretty much turns on them, and this once just friendly wager race turns into a fight for their lives. Yeah, as you can see, who does the cover? Yeah, that's Land's artwork right there. You could tell. You can tell right there. Look at Spider Woman. Look at her smiling. You know, Land with his orgasmic smiling he likes to do. But yeah, it was good. I've still been enjoying this book. We get to see the villain who caused the virus, and he seems very interesting. But something bad happens to Bruce Banner, or the Hulk, and it's up to Tony to help his friend. But Kelly Studio Comics still doing a very good job. It's good to see. Once again, like I said, I'm liking the fact that Marvel now is pushing more female writers. Like I said, we got Kelly Sue DeConnick on this, Captain Marvel. We got Catherine Imont on Mystery Journey into the Mystery with Lady Sif, you know, and things like that. So yeah, and of course, you know, Margaret Liu on Astonishing X-Men. So I'm liking the fact that they're pushing their female writers, unlike another certain company that just fired their only female writer, and you know who I'm talking about. So let's move on. All right. Cable and the X-Force #1. Yeah, you see this cover in my intro. Yeah. You got Forge, Domino, Colossus, Cable, and Dr. Nemesis together, and with another individual in there, and I'm gonna get into a little bit. First of all, Salvador Larroca's artwork, great. I've always loved his artwork. Very good artist, in my opinion. Hopeless does a very good job for the first issue. We kind of get a sense of what's going on and why they're going to be on the run and everything like that, and you know why the uncanny Avengers are going to be chasing them. But it was fine, and I love me some Domino. And of course I'm a big fan of Peter and Colossus. I like Forge. I thought he was dead. I mean, we all thought he was dead. Of course, Cable is back. Now, Cable, the technovirus that was, you know, that he had since he was a baby is gone. It's completely gone. This is just the suit that Forge made him with the cybernetic arm. The only problem I have with that arm is it looks like it belongs on a Gundam. I'm like, it belongs on a Gundam, man. But there's a reason why he has this arm, and I don't want to spoil too much why he wears it. But the best part about it is where Hope finally reunites with her father again, which was really funny. Now, we all know Cable has telekinetic powers. He is a mutant. And what's Hope's mutant? But she basically can cipher anybody in her vicinity, you know, around her. So when they finally meet again, she's all upset, and she's like, you know, you're my father. You're supposed to be, you know, you're not supposed to be you know, basically looking over my shoulder, looking over me in the shadows, and you know, things like that, and you know, and she's ciphering his telekinetic powers, and all you see is basically things just rising up, and Dr. Nemesis is saying, I think she's ciphering your telekinetic powers, and she does look like she's about to throw one of them, so be careful. And he's like, okay. And all that anger that Hope's getting out, all of a sudden, Cable just says, I missed you too. And they hug, and I'm like, look at that. And that sounds like Cable. That's something Cable would do. But there's more to this book than just the reunion of father and daughter, why Cable is, you know, wearing the cybernetics and things like that. There's more to it, which I don't want to spoil, guys. You just got to pick it up if you want to. And we do know that somewhere down the line, Colossus is also, he's going to have problems with his mutant powers as well. You know, he was a part of the Phoenix Five, and we all know that the Phoenix Five, their powers are changing because of being with that. Now, we don't know. Now, it could be, you know, maybe he's stuck now completely in his organic steel armor, or maybe it's something else. But I thought Cable and X-Force #1 was really good. I'm going to stick with it. Like I said, Hopeless did a very good job. The next issue, I think, comes out next week. And Salvador Roca's artwork, perfect. Alright, the next book, I told you guys I didn't pick it up last week, and then I said I would do a written review of it on my Tumblr account. But I changed my mind when I picked it up this week, and I was just like, what the hell, let me just talk about it. So first off, let me talk about the issue that I missed, and that was Iron Man #3. Gillian, you know, he's trying, guys. He's really trying. And as of right now, with this story arc that he's doing called Believe, where Maya Hastings, the person who created the Extremist, has died, was killed, and Tony now, and that the Extremist was basically sold on the black market. 4 or 5 people bought it, and now Tony is making it his, like, a quest to basically find those people, destroy the Extremist virus, or whatever you want to call it, and, you know, that's about it. Just make sure Maya Hastings' legacy doesn't get tarnished. Basically, in this issue, we get to see Tony's stealth armor in this again. I've always loved the stealth armor. I thought it was always cool, but of course, it's more meant for being a stealth recon. It's not really meant for attacks and battles. We see it in this book where his repulsor rays are only at 10%. They still can do damage, but they're only at 10%. But it's like somebody like us, and him shooting that is like, that's still like a knockout punch to us. But in this issue, we do get to see some of his rogues. We get to see Vibro, Living Laser, and Firebrand in this. And he tracks this drug lord in Colombia. Always Colombian drug lord. Yeah, like that's not having been done out the woodwork. But yeah, he tracks him down, and he wants to, you know, stop him. But we find out that the reason why this guy has the Extremist is because he's trying to save, there you go, his daughter. So it's kind of had a bit of a little touching moment in this one, but it was fine. But I did like the new stealth armor. How he looks now is really cool. Very good. Now Iron Man has been coming out very quickly. I think this is out of all the Marvel Now books. This and X-Men, all new X-Men, have been coming out like that. And Iron Man #4. Once again, you know, this one was okay. This time Tony travels to Paris because he's got track of another person who has the Extremist. But this time he goes a little bit heavy duty with his new heavy duty armor. And that's pretty much about it. This was really okay. I actually enjoyed issue #3 more than I enjoyed issue #4. But like I said, Gillian is trying. It's not perfect, and it's here. Like, let me just put it like that. It's here. It's not bad, and it's not overly good. It's right down the middle. And all they got to do is get Land off this book, and I'll be cool. You guys know how I feel about Greg Land. I don't like the Tracer and the orgasmic smiles. And if Pepper smiles orgasmic again in that book, the only reason I pick it up, like I said, is because I support Iron Man. I like Iron Man. All right. So let's move on to the next title, and that's All the Power, None of the Responsibility. Scarlet Spider, yeah. Scarlet Spider number 12. Christopher Yosh still knows how to write this book. We get a different artist on this book, but this is like an aftermath of what happened in Minimum Carnage. And once again, I like Minimum Carnage. I thought it was a very good, interesting story arc that involved Kane and Flash. And unlike in Flash's book, Aftermath book, where it kind of was like a downward spiral, in this book, it's not so much of a downward spiral for Kane. It's kind of like it starts out almost a downward spiral, and then it leads up. And let me explain. So basically, Kane really, he's like, look, I'm done with this. I don't want to be here. I'm leaving. You know, and you got all his friends that he's met since he came to Houston telling him, why are you leaving? Kane is drunk, and from what they said, he's only had 3 beers. So I'm like, either Kane can't hold his liquor or drink, and or something's wrong with his DNA, you know, because he's a clone. But I thought this was really good. It was fun. It kind of is like, it has a Christmas theme to it, which is cool. We got some robbers in this who want to rob the Four Seasons hotel that Kane stays in. He stays in the presidential suite. And of course, you got the little girl that he saved from in the first issue. I'm always forgetting her name. Arcadici. I'm probably butchering that name. And she's always, I thought she was really funny in this. Every time Kane cursed, she was like, "You swear, put a dollar in the dollar bin, dollar jar." And they're just really trying to get Kane to realize that you do have friends and you got people that care about you, and we care. You saved this city countless times, no matter what. We know that you got a dark past in a sense, but here now is what counts, right? And we kind of see that at the end of the book. Kane realizes that, and like I said, don't want to spoil too much, but one thing that was also funny in the book is at the end, after Kane saves the day from the robbers who dressed up like Santa Claus. Basically, the owner of the Four Seasons Hotel was like, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Scarlet Spider. You saved the day. If there's anything I can do for you." So, I don't even want to pronounce her name because I'm going to mess it up. She's basically, because they were going to kick Kane out of the presidential suite because a Belgian diplomat or something was coming to stay there and they needed it. So then she said, she whispered in his ear, "No Belgians. No Belgians ever." And he said, "No Belgians?" The guy said, and the owner just said, "Okay." So basically, Kane gets to keep his room in the hotel. And you know, like I said, Kane finds out that he's coming to a road in his life where now he realizes that he has friends. They care about him, and he cares about them. Matter of fact, he even says, "I love them." And he's showing that there's a heart behind that red and black costume and not just granite. All right. Before I get to the next Marvel book, I want to let you guys know, definitely I will be doing a written review of 2 issues. As you can see right here, if you follow me on Tumblr, I'm going to do a written review of the last 2 Wolverine books, as you see here, issue 316 and 317. These are the final books of Wolverine before it becomes Savage Wolverine, and then later on they relaunch Wolverine again later on for Marvel Now. So these 2 books will be on my Tumblr account as a written review. So if you follow me on Tumblr, that's where you'll see what I thought about this book, and I give my thoughts on it. All right. So next book we're doing is Winter Soldier number 13. Ed Brubaker, as always, one of my favorite writers. I wish he didn't leave Marvel, didn't leave this book, and didn't leave Cap. But I always wish him well. He wants to do more independent stuff. Go for it. This continues the hunt for Black Widow, and basically, Bucky basically did something that the person that he trained when he was the Winter Soldier back in the days kind of forced him to do. Kind of forced Bucky's hand in a sense. Bucky gets reprogrammed back to his old Winter Soldier persona, and his target as Winter Soldier was Daredevil, and we see a pretty good, decent Daredevil fight between Bucky and Matt, and then we realize why Bucky went after Daredevil, because of Widow. If you all remember, Daredevil and Black Widow used to be a couple at one point. They used to be an item. And she still cares about Matt. And that's what Cap and Logan and Clint, Hawkeye, was talking about. Why Novalovic, I think that's the sleeper agent name that Bucky trained, is doing this, because he's going to take everything that he's going to use Widow, what she cares about as well, to hurt him. But it was really good. I loved the panel between Bucky and Wolverine. That was really good. You know, where Logan kind of let him have it about, you know, doing what he did, like reprogramming himself and stuff like that. And I can understand where Logan was coming from with that, because of, you know, him and Weapon X, things like that. But I'm glad to know that this book won't be over after Brubaker leaves. But well, he did leave, but it's good. It was good. There's got one more issue before one more to close out the Hunt for Black Widow story arc. But still been loving Winter Soldier. Like I said, it's just pure espionage based. Like I said, Brubaker must have been watching, you know, Born Identity, all these, playing some Metal Gear or something, because he writes that. That's how it feels like sometimes to me, a Metal Gear Solid game, guys. I kid you not. Alright, so we move on to DC. Got a few DC for you, and we'll kick it off with Batgirl. Yes. Gail Simone, my lady, mwah. I blow a kiss to you, bam. Like I said before, what this company did to you was dirty. But I'm glad to know that you taking it like a trooper. You getting offers all around, and I'm happy for you. I'm gonna be following you no matter where you go. But until then, we still got some good stuff with Babs from Miss Simone, and pretty much this is still Death in the Family, and whoo, my God, issue 15 just is Joker. Is playing serious head games, mind games with Barb, and he has her mom. He lobbed off one of her fingers. You know it. And what does Joker want? He wants Batgirl to marry him. Huh? Marriage? What? But still, despite all that, just damn good writing from Miss Gail Simone. Yes, guys, I'm a fanboy. I'm proud to admit it. I'm a fanboy. But I don't want to spoil a lot for you. It's just, that's one of the main things, is Joker wants Barbara to marry him. But I'm still trying to figure out what is making Joker tick like this. And I probably never will. We'll never find out why. But it was still good, nonetheless. Alright, we move on to Batman, number 15. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. Bam! Alright, I don't want to spoil too much on this book either. I'll just give you a little key point. The entire Bat family is in this book. So you got Barbara, you got Tim, you got Dick, you got Damian, and Jason. Yeah, Jason Todd is in this book. And they're all around after something goes amiss with Batman and the Joker. And then it starts, what I'm going to spoil, this is what I will spoil. It's starting to contemplate, guys, that they're all saying, like, does he know, Bruce, who we are? Is it true? Why did he take Alfred? And Bruce kind of gives this story of that's kind of going around in his head of like how and why and things like that. But don't want to spoil too much for you guys because it was just that damn good. If you're reading this, you know what I'm talking about. Joker is not playing at all, and it's scary to see him like this when he's focused. That's where he's most deadliest. He is extremely focused, and Scott Snyder is just doing a bang-up job with the title. So let's move on to Green Lantern Corps number 15. Check out that cover. Yeah, Guy Gardner surrounded by the boys in blue. Peter Tomasi, tip my hat to you, sir. You still just really know how to write this title, as you always done. We don't really see too much of the Third Army, too much in there, but we do see like glimpse of it. But let's just put it like this: Guy is not having a good day. He resigned from the Corps. He's feeling it. He's feeling bad. He's angry. He's upset. He calls his family to see if they're okay after he left them with the Justice League. His father still acting like a major dick, and but his brothers and stuff still care. They're talking to him. Guy comes to the realization that if Batman can protect a city without superpowers, I can do it. I can protect Baltimore. Unfortunately, he kind of goes a little bit Punisher, but no. On the other side of the world, we see those blue-faced bastards, the Guardians, who I just want to choke out now every time. Basically watching their handiwork, in a sense. Watching their army fight the Red Lanterns and stuff. Basically we see that Solik, basically, I hope I'm saying his name right, finds out what's going on, and it doesn't look good for him either, which I don't want to spoil what happens to him. But the bottom line is, it's all about Guy in this, and that I won't spoil. But let me just tell you, the arresting officer, the officer who puts him in the cuffs, somebody very close to him. Just good stuff. Basically, guys, like I've said, I've been enjoying the other two Green Lantern titles, New Guardians and the Corps, more than I've been enjoying the self-titled Green Lantern book. That's just how I feel. All right. Gearing up for the end of Grifter. This is number 15. Frank Terry, Marit Michaels is the artist on this. Yeah, you see Grifter fighting Deadshot. Deadshot is basically Grifter fighting the Suicide Squad. When he was transported back to Earth after his encounter with Midnighter, they transported him into Blackgate Prison. I believe that's the prison where the Suicide Squad is. Cole is fighting for his life, but you got to remember also, Cole, he has now developed his telekinetic powers, so he's not. He's got kind of an edge over the Suicide Squad. And the first person he takes out because he knows he's good is Deadshot. He goes after him. At one point, you got Harley coming at him with her big mace, and he telekinetically makes her hit Deadshot. He just goes, and she clocks. And of course, Amanda Waller comes in. And, her and Cole go back because they were part of Team 7. She's talking to him about a certain individual that may have made up the whole thing about Cole being the chosen one to save the world from the DYNAMITEs and things like that. And that's pretty much basically what it is. Next issue is the final issue for Grifter. I'm sad to see this book go because out of the Wildcats, guys, my 3 favorites were Grifter, Zealot, and Warblade. And I hate what they've done to Warblade in the New 52. And I'm going to get into that book right in a little while. But I thought Cole would last a little bit longer than 16 episodes, 16 issues. But hopefully Grifter will still be around. I just don't want to see him go into that comic book abyss where he's not going to be used now because, well, he doesn't have a title no more, so we're not going to use him. No, I'm just hoping that doesn't happen. But it was fun to see the fight between the Suicide Squad and Grifter, especially when King Shark nearly ate him. That was crazy. So we move on to Ravagers number 7. Man, look at that cover. You got Rose Wilson about to cut Fairchild, and you got that ugly, disgusting looking Warblade back there fighting Ridge and Superboy. Howard Mankey still is doing a pretty decent job with this title. Basically, Fairchild, this leaves off right where that last issue 6 leaves off, where the kids have found the person they were looking for just in case Harvest comes after them, and boom, Harvest sends his 2 best, Rose Wilson and Warblade. And the kids are really scared, especially Tara, but the girl that they were saving, she's got pre-augmented, like she can see into the future or possible futures, and if she touches you, you can see it too. So she kind of shows Fairchild here what will happen if Harvest gets the kids back. They'll become monsters and everything like that. And that's pretty much the basis of the story, as well as we finally get to see what happens to one of the kids, and that's Tara. We get to see her cut loose with her geokinetic powers and stuff like that on Warblade and them. It was crazy. But don't want to spoil too much. But that's pretty much what it was. Wasn't that bad. If you guys are really like, well, I'm not really. Is Ravagers really that good? I don't know. I do like Beast Boy. Sometimes if you Beast Boy's in this book, so if you're a fan of Beast Boy, much love to you. He's not that different, except for his skin pigmentation is red instead of green, but we all know the reason why. But other than that, it was, it's another teen book of group of kids, and it's just not the Titans. That's just how I look at it. Ravagers number 7. Okay, and of course now we're gonna end this all with independent. I got 3 independent books, one from DYNAMITE, one from Valiant, and one from IDW. So we'll kick it off with DYNAMITE. Peter Canyon Thunderbolt number 4. First of all, nice cover by Alex Ross. Very nice. I was a little bit disappointed with this issue. A little bit heavy on the dialogue side, and I don't mind when books are heavy on the dialogue side, but keep me kind of interested in it. in this issue, it was almost like they were trying to make us feel sorry for Peter Cannon here because of his beliefs and stuff like that. And I'm like, I get you grew up in a monastery. I get you spent mostly your entire life in the monastery, never saw the outside world too much, and things like that. But don't make me feel too sorry for you, okay? I understand that, but I was a little disappointed in this issue. Hopefully issue 5 will pick up. But it seems that everything that Peter Cannon has been fighting for in terms of world peace may be happening. But this was just a little extremely on the dialogue side, just really too much. I was a little bit like, okay, give me a little bit of action. We got like maybe one panel. And speaking of action, we go on to Valiant Entertainment, and that is none other than Bloodshot number 6. You want to talk about action? Yeah, this was action-packed. Bloodshot returns back to Project Rising Sun facility, where the facility that created him, and he wants to know who he really is. He wants his memories, things like that. And that's the basis of this book. All the basis of it is he's trying to get his memory back. He wants to know who he was before they turned him into this. And you know, this also shows how much his body can take, because he has nanites in his body that make him heal fast. So like, you can shoot him up and he's just going to heal. But it shows you see his nanites get really pushed to the limit in this book. Like, he's getting like chunks of meat taken off of him by just heavy machine gun fire, and it's just coming back. His arm gets dislocated, and his bone, like the back elbow bone, just pops out of the socket when he's fighting this guy, and he literally slits this guy's throat with the bone that was sticking out of his elbow. I was like, ah, yo, but Dwayne Straczynski is doing a very good job, and Emmanuel Garcia's artwork, and I've been doing a lot, right? But yeah, it's just been good. Bloodshot number 6. As I said it before, and I'll say it again, if you are not on board with Valiant Comics or entertainment, get on board with something. There's something that you might like. For me, I am at least on 3 of them already, because I was reading them before they relaunched. Valiant has had a major comeback, and I'm very happy for them. So we end this book with IDW. We end this episode with, I said book, right? We end this with IDW with the Turtles, of course. This is issue number 17. Kevin Eastman still writing, but we get a new artist in this book, and I know this makes my mentor, Blue Goblin, very happy. He told me himself. I know a lot of people that were saying, you know, get a new artist. I don't like it. But this cover is nice. I like, it was this cover B. This is Eastman's artwork. Basically, we get, what can I say without spoiling too much? We get a concept of what is going on with Krang, like why is he doing this, things like that. We also finally get to see, and for those who grew up with the original series, like yours truly, we get to see the neutrinos in this, and they're done very well, but more on the kind of soldierous side, but still very well. That's pretty much the basis of that, but this was really, really good. I have been loving this series from the first issue and up. That's pretty much all I'm going to spoil for you guys. I'm not going to tell too much anymore. I'm sorry. Just really good. You just got to pick it up for yourself. But Kevin Eastman has just been killing it on this book. I'm glad that the Turtles have at least one of their creators with them, and hopefully he'll stay a little bit longer. But I've heard things like Eastman will be leaving the book. Say it ain't so. But this was good. Too good to spoil, guys. I'm sorry. But yes, the neutrinos are in this book, and they are done very well. Very good. All right, so that is it, guys. That's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Like I said, once again, I want to show love and appreciation and shout out to Comic Book Mom. If you want to know who she is, you want to know more about her, the link of her channel will be in the description. Check her out, subscribe to her, do whatever you want. And I will see you guys next week, God willing, as always. It probably will be a huge, so it might be another giant size review next week, guys. But I'm looking forward to next week. A lot of stuff coming out next week. But other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep real as always, guys. I'll catch you guys on a flip-flop. And you guys take care.